Hi, my name is Will and welcome to the Distorted Transmission for today. I'm talking to a prog metal band from Wellington, All I Seek. How are you guys?
Good, thanks. How are you doing?
Thanks for having us.
First off the bat, I suppose we should do the introduction, so if you guys can introduce yourselves and also the other members of the band and what they do.
So I'm Sam. I play guitar and do a bit of production and sing in the band.
I'm Finn. I'm the bassist.
Yeah, and so not with us today is Alex, other guitarist, James, the vocalist, and Jordan, the drummer.
The next question that I normally ask is band history. If you could give me a bit of a brief history of the band, how long it's been around, that kind of stuff.
In 2015, the first version of the band formed, which was called Unstable Ground. And there are two common members with today, which is Alex and I, the guitarists. And it was like a mellow death band. And then in 2017, we got 7-string guitars and started playing some heavier shit, more like gent influences. And then we got James, the singer, he joined after Finn, of course. And then they started to be more like songs instead of screaming for the whole thing. And we were all kind of vibing that sound. And yeah, we just started writing together, playing some shows over the years, and that's kind of come through to now where we're working on an EP, and that's sort of where we're up to.
Your Bandcamp currently has 2 singles, one in June 2021 and June 2022, and now you've dropped a third called Envy, and there was a release show on August the 4th at Meow in Wellington, although you did say that it wasn't actually your release show. So
yeah, so it just timed up quite nicely. We were opening for Banks Arcade on their album tour, and they're a sick band, man. Yeah, they had a mean set that night. Real cool stuff. And Gloom in the Corner and Crooked Royals played as well, who were also sick. But yeah, it just lined up because our song came out at midnight, so it's quite a nice way to perform and celebrate it.
Okay, cool.
What would you say about the show, man?
Oh, it's absolutely insane. There's some crazy talent out there throughout Australia and New Zealand just waiting to be uncovered. So you definitely go check those guys out. So good.
There was a little bar in Wellington called, I think it was Moon Bar, but I've never been to Meow. And what is with Wellington and their weird M bars? That's bizarre. Yeah. What is the capacity of Meow?
420, actually. Bang on.
Okay. It's a reasonably sized venue then.
Twice the size of Valhalla, which is where most of our shows would normally be. Totally different vibe. There's sort of a big stack of books behind you on the stage, so it feels like you're sort of making a bit too much noise in a library.
Reactions in regards to your latest single, how's it been going?
Oh, it's been really good. Just kind words from people, more interest in people sharing it around. We're all really happy with it. It's been in the pipeline for a couple of years, really. So to see it come to fruition and released and have people enjoying it is awesome.
Cool.
My mum really liked it.
Mums generally like their kids' music, I found anyway, in my experience.
They do. Number 1 fans.
You're a bit of a slow burn band, sort of releasing a small handful of singles over your existence. Is that sort of a strategic thing, or is it just a symptom of circumstance?
Yeah, it's really of circumstance. Yeah, I mean, we're busy folk. I've had other music projects on the go, jobs and life and all that kind of thing. But yeah.
I think at the same time, we're quite perfectionists about things, though. We're quite happy to let it take its time to get to a point where we're really happy with it.
Yeah, for sure. Like, we nailed these songs, I reckon.
They sounded good, yeah.
With the help of Jake Stokes, the mixing engineer, who was an absolute wizard. Yeah, it just made a huge difference. And was great to collaborate with.
You must have more than 3 songs, though. I mean, if you're playing gigs, you must have a reasonable set list. How many songs do you actually have up your sleeve?
Well, it's probably like 10 originals, really.
I think we had 15 when we started off, and then just really hacked away at it until
they fall away. Yeah, and then we just add in covers. But yeah, we're looking forward to writing some new material.
Probably got 8 in the rotation at the moment.
And you mentioned just before doing like an EP or something?
Yeah, so Envy was the 3rd single that will be on the upcoming EP. We've got Moonlight coming up as a single soon, which will be the 4th one, and then it'll be a 5-track, which will come out in December if all goes to plan.
So you're going to include the ones that you've previously released and then sort of like bundle it together and release it as a sort of as one unit?
Yeah, that's right. And they all have quite a similar vibe and atmosphere. And we actually had more tracks recorded of drums, which we're going to go towards an album. And then we just, one day I was just like, these songs are the 5 best ones, and they sound like they belong together. So let's chuck them on an EP.
Bands can do quite well with just singles or very, very small, 3-track EPs. Those kind of things can go just as far as, say, bands back in the late 90s would have got with several albums because of the whole Spotify thing and the whole trending thing, which is why I asked you about your sort of strategy, whether or not that was the strategy, because I've known a few New Zealand bands who've got really far and gotten signed with like 2 singles.
Yeah, it's mainly practicality. It makes it easier to manage the process of creating it. But I love the idea of like the artistic vision of an album and being able to commit to something like that. But yeah, it's just a lot easier to do a single, release it.
Do you think that you'll ever sort of like get to the point where an album is either inevitable or desired?
I haven't really
think we will.
too much about that.
Yeah, I mean, I have ideas in my head, but I'd absolutely love to. Yeah, but it depends on how our next phase of writing goes, really. We have a new drummer, Jordan, well, relatively new as of the start of the year, so we'll be writing stuff with him for the first time and learning about that process and how it works as we go along.
Yeah, I don't think we feel like doing the same release twice. Like, it'll be these 5 songs, and then whatever the next thing is, we'll try taking a new direction that sort of incorporates everyone's writing style. Because this one EP we wrote instrumentally at first, actually, and then James joined afterwards and added the vocals. So whatever comes next will probably be quite a lot different.
I was going to ask you what your sort of writing process is. If you've got like a lot of bands have sort of one primary songwriter and then everyone sort of like just throws their 10 cents in at the end, or sometimes it's more collaborative. So what works best for you?
I tend to lead the charge, or I have done on a lot of our stuff. But like, we're all mates, and like we've been mates for years, and we would just hang out for the afternoon or whatever and just talk absolute shit and just be silly and have like a Logic session open the computer, program in some stupid kick pattern.
All at 127 velocity.
Yeah. Yeah, and just take turns at putting in little ideas and things and just getting excited about riffs as they come up. And yeah, just as friends hanging out kind of thing was a lot of it.
Your writing style is almost organic in a way. You sort of get together in a room and just kind of like flesh ideas out, as opposed to one guy with, Guitar Pro just sitting there like programming everything and then sending it through to everyone going, learn that.
Absolutely. But some songs like The Bay, I think I remember writing most of that just kind of in my bedroom. But like a lot of the more inspired stuff, not that The Bay isn't inspired, but a lot of the more inspired stuff is us working on it together. Like Boulevard, our second single, was very, like, everyone had a role to play in that.
And it's the first one we all wrote together, wasn't it? Sort of rocked up to Sam's flat somewhere in Newtown, and I think I was like 2 or 3 weeks since I joined the band, and I didn't really listen to much metal before that, honestly, and I thought, this is a cool band to join, we'll see how this goes, and got sort of thrown straight into a writing session, but within like an hour or two, the whole thing just came together.
We're going to be running out of time soon, so I guess I should ask you the last couple of questions. One of which is, what's the plans for the band going forward? Have you got any shows and stuff for the sort of remainder of the year?
So we have one show booked currently, which is at Lovelands in Porirua on the 24th of September. That's a private venue, so if you want
message
the address...
Message us for invite.
Yeah, message us for the address. And we'd like to book an EP release show as well. But I haven't hit up venues yet for that, so it might be, kind of January, February, realistically.
Right. I mean, after you've sort of finished writing stuff, recording stuff, and releasing stuff, it's probably be next year by then, eh?
Yeah, that's sort of the plan. Just focus on getting the EP done as good as we can do it, and then worry about shows after that.
Sweet. All right. The very last question is there anything else to add?
Just want to give a quick shout out to Crooked Royals. We played with them the other night at Meow. They were sick. Great metal band from Auckland. And their most recent song, Glass Hands, came out a week ago, I think. Go check it out.
Cool.
And yeah, super excited for this EP to come out. We've worked so hard on it over the last few years and put our hearts and souls into it. And yeah, just super stoked with how it is. So hopefully you get as much as we've enjoyed working on it. So yeah, check it out in December.
Awesome. All right. Thanks for chatting with me tonight, guys, and all the best with everything going forwards. Good luck with the EP. And yeah, I'll chat to you later. Cheers.
Cool. Thank you, Will.
Thanks so
Thank
much,
you for
Will.
having us.
And thanks for watching.